Welcome back to the channel. Let's be real for a moment. Few things are more frustrating than putting your time, energy, and heart into someone who simply isn't interested. It's one of those realities people don't like to talk about, because it bruises pride and forces hard self-reflection. But that's exactly why this discussion matters. If a woman is not interested in you, she'll do these 7 things. Now, this isn't about shaming anyone or pointing fingers. It's about understanding. Attraction is a powerful force, and it doesn't always work in your favor. You can do all the right things, dress sharp, be kind, show ambition, and still, she may not feel that spark. That's not always because of something you did wrong. Sometimes it's simply because the chemistry isn't there. But here's where it gets tricky. Women rarely say, "I'm not interested," outright. Instead, they show it through behavior. And if you miss those signals, you end up chasing shadows. This discussion has 2 sides. First, we'll look at the why. Why women behave a certain way when they don't see you as more than a friend, or worse, as an option they never wanted in the first place. Then, we'll get into the what to do. How to respond like a man who values his time and self-respect. Some people won't like this. They'll say it's too blunt, too controversial, maybe even uncomfortable. But ignoring these truths is what keeps so many men stuck in cycles of frustration. Recognizing disinterest is not about defeat. It's about clarity. And once you have clarity, you can move with confidence instead of confusion. Stay tuned, because once you understand these 7 behaviors, the way you read women will change forever. 1. She avoids your time. One of the clearest signs that a woman is not interested in you is when she consistently avoids spending time with you. This isn't just about her being busy. Everyone has a job, responsibilities, family, and personal goals. But when she's genuinely into you, she'll find time. It may not always be hours on end, but even a quick call, a coffee break, or a message saying, "Let's catch up soon," shows she values your presence. When she doesn't feel that way, the pattern is impossible to miss. Her schedule suddenly becomes airtight. Every excuse in the book shows up, and you're always left waiting for the right time that never comes. This is where many men fall into denial. They convince themselves she's just overwhelmed with work, or she's going through a tough phase, or she'll eventually clear her calendar. And while life can genuinely be hectic, pay close attention to the consistency. A woman who's not interested will almost never initiate plans, will delay or cancel often, and might even act annoyed when you try to arrange time together. It's not about her workload, it's about her priorities. If she wanted to be with you, even for a short while, she would make it happen. Now here's the part that stings. When a woman avoids your time, it's not a challenge to overcome. It's a reality to accept. Too many men think persistence will win her over, but in truth, all it does is push her further away. You're not proving your value by chasing after someone who's showing you disinterest. You're lowering it. A man who respects himself recognizes when someone doesn't make time for him, and he redirects his energy toward those who actually want his company. Another thing to notice is how she behaves when you finally do get time with her. Is she fully present, or is she glued to her phone, distracted, and waiting for the moment she can leave? Presence matters as much as availability. If she agrees to meet, but her energy screams, "I'd rather be somewhere else," she's not truly giving you her time. She's just passing it until she can exit. That's avoidance disguised as courtesy. Here's what you need to understand. Time is the most valuable resource we all have. When a woman values you, she'll invest it in you. When she doesn't, she'll guard it from you. And as a man, you need to be wise enough to see the difference. Don't rationalize, don't chase, and don't beg for what should come naturally. If she avoids your time, take it as the clearest signal that her heart and mind are elsewhere. The bottom line is this: attention and time are reflections of interest. If she avoids giving them to you, the answer is right there. Don't ignore it. Don't excuse it. Accept it and move forward. 2. Texts feel cold. Let's talk about communication, because in today's world, texting is one of the clearest windows into someone's level of interest. When a woman is truly interested in you, her messages carry energy. You'll feel her excitement, her curiosity, and her desire to keep the conversation flowing. But when she's not interested, her texts feel cold. They're short, delayed, and often lack any real effort. Here's the motivational part. Don't see this as rejection. See it as revelation. Think about it. Would you really want to invest your energy into someone who gives you one-word answers, dry LOL responses, or who takes 3 days to reply without a solid reason? That's not partnership. That's not connection. That's you forcing yourself into someone's life who clearly doesn't value your presence. Recognizing that coldness isn't a loss. It's a victory, because it sets you free to invest your attention where it will be returned with warmth and enthusiasm. It's easy to romanticize the idea of persistence, to believe that if you just keep texting, eventually she'll notice your consistency and reward you with interest. But the reality is very different. Every dry response is a quiet message. I'm not feeling this. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you reclaim your self-respect. The man who chases after cold responses drains himself. The man who recognizes them as red flags protects his energy and moves forward stronger. Think of it this way. The warmth of communication is an extension of attraction. When a woman is truly into you, she doesn't just reply. She engages. She asks questions. She jokes. She follows up. And she wants the conversation to keep going. When all of that is missing, when her messages are colder than the weather in January, it's not something you need to fight against. It's something you need to acknowledge. And here's where the motivation comes in. You are not meant to beg for enthusiasm. You are not meant to chase down attention as if it's some prize you need to earn. Your worth is not measured by how hard you work to get a response. It's measured by how much you value yourself when that response doesn't come. So let her texts be cold. Let her energy be distant. Don't see it as the end of your chances. See it as the start of your clarity. Because once you understand that cold communication is a reflection of disinterest, you free yourself from wasting weeks or months trying to change her mind. Instead, you open the door to connect with someone who will light up when your name appears on their screen, who will value your time, and who will match your energy without hesitation. The message is simple. Cold texts don't mean you're not worthy. They mean she's not the right one. And that knowledge is power. 3. Excuses pile up. One of the most frustrating signs that a woman isn't interested is when excuses start piling up. At first, it might sound reasonable. She's tired, she had to stay late at work, she already made plans with friends. But over time, the pattern becomes clear. There's always a reason why she can't see you, why she can't call, why she can't follow through. And here's where many men get stuck. They confuse politeness for interest. They hear, maybe next week, and treat it like a promise, when in reality, it's just a soft rejection. Now let's break down the rights and wrongs here. The wrong move is to keep pressing. If she cancels on you once or twice, you convince yourself persistence will eventually break through. You text more, you try harder, you even rearrange your own schedule just to fit hers. But what does that actually communicate? That you're willing to accept her bare minimum. That you'll keep waiting around no matter how little effort she puts in. And instead of increasing her interest, it actually lowers her respect. The right move is recognizing that consistency reveals intent. If excuses keep stacking up, the truth is simple. She's not making you a priority. And here's the correction. You don't get angry, you don't complain, and you don't beg. You step back. You match her energy. If she can't carve out time for you, you don't carve out your entire life for her. That's not punishment. It's balance. Because a man who respects himself understands that attention is earned through mutual interest, not one-sided effort. Another common wrong is believing the excuses are about you not being good enough. That's where insecurity creeps in. You start thinking, maybe if I dress better, make more money, or say the right thing, she'll stop making excuses. But here's the correction. Attraction doesn't work that way. A woman who's truly interested will find a way, even if her life is chaotic. She'll make time, not excuses. It's not about you lacking something. It's about her simply not feeling it. And that's okay. The right mindset here is to treat excuses as information, not an obstacle. When she's constantly unavailable, that's her communication. She may not have the courage to say outright, "I'm not interested," but her behavior is already saying it for her. The correction is to stop fighting that truth and start valuing your own time. Why wait weeks for someone who doesn't prioritize you when there are others out there who would actually be excited to spend time with you? Here's the bottom line. When excuses pile up, don't take it as an invitation to push harder. Take it as a signal to pull back, refocus, and redirect your energy. The wrong path is persistence. The right path is self-respect. Correct the mistake by stepping away from someone who doesn't see your value, and you'll open space for someone who does. 4. No physical clues. Here's where things get very real. Attraction isn't just in words. It shows up in body language, in eye contact, in those small moments where you can feel the spark without either of you saying a thing. When a woman is truly interested, her body gives it away. She leans in when you speak. She touches your arm during conversation. Her eyes light up when you walk into the room. You don't have to guess, because the signs are obvious. But when she's not interested, those clues are missing. There's distance in the way she stands. There's stiffness in her posture. She may give you polite smiles, but they're not the kind of smiles that reach the eyes. She might sit across from you, but lean back instead of forward, crossing her arms instead of opening up. It feels more like a formal interview than a genuine connection. And if you've ever been on a date where you left thinking, "I did all the talking and she barely looked up from her drink," you already know exactly what this looks like. I'll give you a realistic example many men can relate to. Imagine you ask her out for coffee. You're excited, you show up on time, and you're ready to have a good conversation. But from the start, her phone becomes the third person at the table. She checks it every 5 minutes, keeps it face up, and her eyes dart to the screen more than they meet yours. That's not just distraction. That's lack of interest showing up physically. If she were into you, that phone would disappear into her bag because the moment with you would matter more. Another experience men often share is the side hug. You know the one. Instead of a warm embrace, she leans in with one arm, pats your back, and quickly pulls away. It's a signal, whether you want to admit it or not. A woman who's interested will use touch as a way to connect, holding your gaze, brushing your shoulder, finding small excuses to close the distance. A woman who isn't will keep that barrier firmly in place, no matter how many times you try to close it. The realistic truth here is that no physical clues means no real attraction. And the worst mistake men make is trying to force those clues. Leaning in when she leans away, pushing for closeness when she clearly wants space. All that does is create discomfort and make your lack of awareness obvious. Here's the takeaway. Attraction is felt, not forced. If her body language is closed off, If there's no touch, no eye contact, no warmth in the physical space between you, she's telling you everything you need to know. Don't ignore it. Don't try to justify it. See it for what it is and move on. Because when a woman is interested, you won't have to wonder. You'll feel it in every glance, every gesture, every moment you share. 5. Always distracted. Distraction speaks volumes. When someone values your presence, you can feel it in the way they listen, the way they respond, the way they make you feel like you matter in that moment. But when a woman is not interested in you, distraction becomes the norm. She's scrolling through her phone while you're talking, giving you half answers or letting her eyes wander everywhere except your face. And here's the tough truth. If she's always distracted, it's not because her life is unusually chaotic. It's because she doesn't see you as a priority. But before you let that sting discourage you, let's flip the perspective. Distraction is not your enemy. It's your clarity. Think about it. How many men waste months, even years, chasing women who treat them like background noise? They keep investing, hoping that one day she'll finally look up, pay attention, and realize how much they've been trying. But that day never comes. And that's why you have to see her distraction as a gift. It's her way of telling you without words that she doesn't see the connection you're hoping for. Now here's where the persuasion comes in. Don't let her lack of focus make you question your own worth. You are not meant to fight for scraps of attention. You are not meant to beg for eye contact or compete with a phone screen. The most confident, powerful thing you can do when faced with constant distraction is to recognize it, accept it, and walk away with your dignity intact. Because the truth is, when the right woman is sitting across from you, she won't need to be convinced to focus. She'll do it naturally. She'll lean in, she'll listen, and she'll show you with her presence that you matter. Here's the motivation. Every second you spend trying to win over someone who's distracted is a second you could be investing in someone who's genuinely interested. Every moment you waste proving yourself to a woman who won't give you her focus is a moment you're holding yourself back from a relationship where attention and energy flow naturally. And when you finally let go of that fight, you'll realize how much power you've had all along. Don't confuse persistence with strength. True strength is knowing when to stop pouring into empty cups. It's having the courage to say, if you can't give me your focus, you don't deserve my time. That's not arrogance, that's self-respect. And the men who understand this don't walk away defeated. They walk away empowered, because they know their value doesn't decrease just because someone else is too distracted to see it. So the next time you're talking to a woman who seems miles away, don't see it as rejection. See it as redirection. She's not the one, and that's okay. The right one won't need reminders to focus. She'll give you her attention willingly because she truly wants to be there. 6. You're just friend. One of the most common signs that a woman is not interested in you romantically is when she keeps you in the friend zone. Now, the term friend zone gets thrown around a lot, often with frustration, but let's slow down and really understand what it means. Being called a friend isn't an insult. It's simply a clear indicator of where she places you in her life. Educating yourself on how to interpret and respond to this situation can save you time, energy, and even your confidence. When a woman calls you friend, introduces you to others as just a friend, or consistently treats you like one of her buddies, she is sending a strong message. She doesn't see you in a romantic light. Many men misunderstand this, thinking, if I stay close long enough, she'll eventually notice me. But psychology shows that once someone classifies you as a friend, it's extremely difficult to shift into romantic territory. Why? Because attraction is built on chemistry, mystery, and a spark that happens early on. If she's put you in the friend category, it's because she doesn't feel that spark, and no amount of waiting or doing favors will magically create it. Here's the educative part. Understand the difference between friendly behavior and romantic interest. A woman who's interested will compliment you in subtle ways, flirt, or give physical cues like playful touches or holding eye contact longer than normal. A woman who only sees you as a friend will talk to you about other men, come to you for advice on her dating life, or treat you like her safe option when she's bored or lonely. She enjoys your presence, but not in the way you might hope. The wrong reaction is to stay silent, hoping things will change. That's how men end up spending years orbiting around a woman who never had romantic intentions in the first place. The right reaction is to accept the reality early. If you're genuinely fine being her friend, that's perfectly okay. But if what you want is a romantic connection, staying in that position only delays you from finding someone who will see you as more than just buddy. Another point to educate yourself on: women are not wrong for placing you in the friend category. They are allowed to choose who they are attracted to. What matters is your response. A man with self-respect doesn't try to manipulate his way out of the friend zone. He acknowledges the situation and moves on if it doesn't match his goals. In short, if she keeps labeling you as friend, take it as valuable information. Don't argue with it. Don't hope to change it. And don't waste your energy trying to prove you deserve more. Instead, invest in relationships where your interest is reciprocated. That's how you build genuine connections, without confusion, without frustration, and without wasting years waiting for something that will never come. 7. She keeps you waiting. Nothing tests your patience and confidence more than being kept waiting. Whether it's unanswered texts, delayed calls, or standing you up for plans, the message is the same. She doesn't see your time as valuable. When a woman is interested, she's eager to connect. She may not always be available immediately, but she respects your time enough to communicate, to explain, and to show you that you matter. When she keeps you waiting without effort, without explanation, that's not a scheduling problem. It's a priority problem. Now here's the motivational truth. Your time is your most powerful currency. Every minute you spend waiting for someone who doesn't value it is a minute you could be investing in building your career, your health, your passion, or in meeting someone who actually matches your energy. Too many men waste months, even years, waiting for a woman to finally give them the attention they deserve. And while they wait, life passes them by. Don't let that be your story. It's tempting to think patience will eventually win her over, that if you just hold on long enough, she'll suddenly realize your worth. But let's be real. Worth isn't something you prove by waiting around. Worth is something you embody by walking away from people who don't recognize it. When you stop waiting for her and start moving forward with your life, you send a powerful signal: my time matters and I won't waste it. Here's the mindset shift. Being kept waiting is not rejection, it's redirection. Life is showing you that this is not the right place to invest your energy. Every unanswered message, every cancelled plan, every vague promise of next time is simply pushing you towards someone who won't hesitate to choose you. And when that person arrives, you'll look back and thank yourself for not sitting in the waiting room of someone else's disinterest. So don't let waiting drain you. Use it as fuel. If she keeps you waiting, don't fill the gap with frustration. Fill it with progress. Hit the gym, focus on your craft, build your skills, expand your circle. The man who refuses to be kept waiting becomes unstoppable because his life doesn't pause for anyone who doesn't value it. The message is simple. Stop waiting for someone to choose you. Choose yourself. And when you do, you'll attract the kind of woman who respects your time, matches your energy, and shows you through her actions that you're exactly who she wants. At the end of the day, the signs are never as complicated as we make them out to be. If a woman avoids your time, gives cold texts, makes excuses, shows no physical clues, stays distracted, keeps you as just a friend, or leaves you waiting. She's telling you the truth without saying it. And that truth is liberating, not defeating. The goal is not to force interest, it's to recognize disinterest and redirect your energy. Value yourself, guard your time, and move boldly forward. The right woman won't need convincing. She'll show you she's interested without hesitation.